the co-creators of Disenchanted.
That's right.
The hit off-Broadway musical.
Because we are outside a very historical Disenchanted or company moment. We are outside the Corvallis Arts Center
in Corvallis, Oregon.
Yeah.
30 years ago, this is where FIELY and I created our very first show.
Yeah.
This was our theater. So we opened 3 shows at once here, and sure enough, they took off, and this was where it all started.
Yeah.
So we thought this was a great place to talk about Disenchanted. Disenchanted is a show about the original fairy tale princesses, in which those fairy tale princesses are none too happy with the way that they're portrayed in today's pop culture. And so through a magical spell, these princesses come to life
From the shells, from the books.
to tell the truth about happily ever after and
Right.
to reclaim their power as women. I'm the author and composer of the show.
And I helped develop and direct the show Off-Broadway.
Exactly. And FIELY's directed the show all around the country, Los Angeles, Seattle,
Over
Missouri,
there,
over
here,
there, over there.
everywhere. We headed
Let's get to some questions.
Questions
right?
from the Apple Mug.
That's right.
Into the room, I said, "Look, there's a playwriting contest."
And I was like, but this is a musical, it's not a play.
I said, "But it doesn't matter. Maybe they'll like it."
But this is a musical, not a play.
I said, "It doesn't hurt to just try."
So I entered the contest with a musical, not a play, for a playwriting contest.
And
we won.
we won.
The Playwrights contest was in 2010. In 2011, we took it to the Orlando International Fringe Theater Festival in Florida.
Well, we did the
So,
Fringe
yeah.
Festival. It sold out there.
Right.
Did really well. And then we did the show again. And one of the princesses, Andrea Canny, knew of a producer in New York and
Right.
invited him down to come see us.
He came to see the show.
And
within a month, we were in New York
York,
City. And then
working.
it was 3 years of development from there.
Yes.
We added a script and character arcs, which became the Disenchanted we all know today. New York, 13 countries around the world in 5 different languages. The show is actually on 5 continents right now. It's in Italian. It's been translated into Spanish, Mandarin. The show was in Beijing. Denmark, so the show's been translated into Danish. So let's take Italy, for instance. Italy takes the script, people who are doing the translations, and then they translate it into Italian. But it's not as simple as, okay, let me word by word translate from English to Italian, because they want to keep rhyme schemes and they want to keep the intention of each song. So they do have to change some words up.
Yeah.
Or, for all I want to do is eat, there are snack foods in America that just don't exist in Italy.
Don't translate in Italy.
Right. Like, I don't think Italy has Twinkies or Hot Pockets.
Yeah.
And so
or Little
Debbie's,
yeah.
right. And so from there, they translate, and then they do a back translation back into English of the Italian script. Then we go back and forth and we work on it until it's eventually to the point where we've approved it. Make sure that your show has a great story, a beginning, middle, and end. Make sure that your characters have arcs where, whether they're a guest star or a featured or a principal in the show, make sure that they learn a little something as they go through the show. And we always say, make sure it feels to the audience like you're riding a roller coaster and you're holding on for dear life, and you write with your heart. Your first draft, write it with your heart. And as we all know, writing is mostly rewriting, so the rewriting and the editing is done with your head. And sometimes you'll find that there's a saying, cut your darlings or cut your babies, which means some of your favorite parts will have to go away because they don't match the theme or the character arc or the story of the show.
It's like when we write, we try not to over-edit in the beginning. Just get it out.
Write your heart.
Write it, just
Write your
keep
passion.
going. Just keep going, because you can get so stuck in editing and censoring yourself,
that you'll never get it done.
You'll never get it done. Just keep going. Well, I thought in any situation, especially in the arts, when you're given a limitation on your creativity, you have to be even more creative. So I said, Dennis, I think people, still need to do theater somehow. How do we achieve that? And then we also saw a lot of Zoom meetings being happening,
Right.
Zoom play readings. I said, why can't we create a Zoom version where people can safely do their show at home?
The script is written as if the princesses are coming in
For a
from their
virtual
castles,
on a virtual meeting,
right? A Zoom meeting, to tell their stories, and sing about them. The good people and talented people at Broadway Licensing.
Our agent right now.
That's the agency where you license Disenchanted. They have a sister company called Broadway on Demand, and which live streams this stay-at-home version of Disenchanted.
Yeah, we created a Safe on Stage.
A Safe on Stage, which is a social distancing version, where I went back, FIELY and I went back and recreated the script and all the stage directions to keep everybody at least 6 feet apart once they get the go-ahead to congregate. And then what they do is they can do it in front of a smaller either sold or invited audience. So, it's with the safety precautions of the area. That's a must. And and that's up to the folks who are licensing, the people who run the community or professional theater. And but our job was to recreate the Off-Broadway show and the licensed show into these two forms that can happen during
safely
COVID-19. So I wrote it on 3 different levels, and the first level is designed to make an audience laugh. I wanted it to be funny. I wanted to skewer the princess complex and the way that these women were ridiculously portrayed up on the silver screen, the big screen. The second level was to make an audience think. And then there was that third level that I insisted on, and I really think that's the key to the show, which is the human level. We wanted to allow an audience to relate to the messages in the show, to the characters in the show. Because underneath the comedy and the getting an audience to
think about these issues,
we
wanted to make the audience feel like, oh, that connects with me,
that's me
as a human being.
And the big question I ask underneath all the songs are, because I'm unique and because I may be a little different than you, does that make me any less valid a person? And that anybody can relate to. So with that, those are the 3 levels that we wrote the show on.
Your reaction should be in the show, you laugh, and then afterwards, while you're going home, you're like, oh. And then you go again, oh.
I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah.
And it starts a conversation. The song that I sell the most sheet music for, that most audiences react to, and high schools around the country,
thespian festivals like it a lot.
Festivals, high schools, they perform it, and very well. I think in the Florida Thespian Festival, it even went all the way to win the big award. Is All I Want to Do Is Eat. It seems to be a song. I guess we all have a relationship with food.
We all have a relationship with food.
so that song seems to really strike a chord with everybody. I wrote a few lyrics and a melody, and I brought them back to FIELY. And I said...
I was washing dishes.
He was washing dishes in the other room, and I said, listen to this. I think I've got Cinderella's song. It's called All I Want to Do Is Eat.
Okay, go ahead.
Because she hasn't eaten in like 300 or 400 years. Do you ever see her eat? No. And she sings, all I wanna do is eat. All I wanna do is eat. FIELY?
I said, wait a minute. I said, wait, I have an idea. Play it again.
Okay.
I'm washing dishes.
So I played it again. All I wanna do is eat
a burger.
All I wanna do is eat
Hot Pockets.
And I said, stop.
said,
stop, that's it.
I want to know what you want to eat.
That's it. And I said, but I love junk food. So I went back outside for about an hour or two and used every junk food that's in that song is my favorite. And there are like 20. And finished the song, brought it back to FIELY. We sang it together. He loved it. Well, it just so happened I took All I Want to Do Is Eat to one of my best friends, Diane.
Who's a nutritionist.
So I thought she'd be perfect for me to take All I Want to Do Is Eat to. And I played it for her. She laughed. Diane looked at me. Always surround yourself with people who love you enough to tell you the truth.
Right.
She said to me, it's really funny. It's beautiful, but it ends a little down. I feel like there could be a few laughs at the end. Is there anything that you could do to bring the ending up a little bit?
It's not so sad, right?
And so I went back to FIELY and I said, here's what Diane said, and we thought about it, and that's when...
Well, we thought about too, like, when you're hungry,
what is
that
that
really
feeling?
hungry? What is that feeling at the end of, like,
you'll eat anything?
Right.
And then we took who we thought was probably the character who, besides Cinderella, the character who would probably step over the line and mention something that nobody should ever eat, no matter how hungry you are.
Right.
And that's when the mermaid steps out and says, I'm going to eat my friend Flounder. And with that, we took the song back to Diane and we played it for her.
With the new ending.
And she said, that's it.
Awesome, cool, crazy,
all of that.
insane, all dream come true.
You didn't sleep. We didn't sleep for months, years. And when we did sleep, we were on a friend's floor or sofa.
Right.
It was
But
everything you would imagine. It was magical. It was nuts.
It was a fairy tale where we met monsters and gods and
fairy godmothers and godfathers, and it was
and we wouldn't trade
everything.
it for the world.
Wouldn't trade
we
any of
learned
it
so
for the
much.
world.
Yeah. As we traveled the world and we've seen so many different casts of Disenchanted, and we've seen the diversity we've seen on stage, it's been really beautiful to see that, because that's exactly what we wanted, to see many different groups of people talk about these issues. Out there.
Thank you very much. All right, everybody.
Bye. Here's the closing shot.